And finally, if we use the analogy of the iceberg, then we know that most of the iceberg sits under the waterline. Well, in this instance, one of the quickest ways, and we're seeing this now, I guess, with global warming, one of the quickest ways to change the shape of an iceberg is to heat up the water around it. So the environment in which the iceberg sits ultimately can change the shape of the iceberg. And so environment is something that we need to pay attention to. Well, what does that look like in the context of you and the result that you're looking to move towards? What environment do you need to put yourself into in order to make the changes that you need? A good example of that would be a previous client I had who was the son of the owner. The owner had effectively transitioned out of the business, leaving the son and daughter actually to run the business. Well, actually, all they'd ever known was their dad being the boss, and they were effectively employees along with all the rest of the team members, and they hadn't been exposed to anything other than the people around him. So when the brother and sister kind of effectively took the lead on the business, they were still thinking like employees, and hadn't really built up much of a connection base and a network of business owners. So one of the first things that we needed to do was to say, let's get you into a different environment which is just filled with business owners, so you can talk about business owner type things. And just being in that kind of place starts to change the way you think. You're hearing different perspectives that you haven't heard before. That changes you. And also so what's the kind of environment that will support you? Are you in an environment currently that is dragging you down, where you've got the doubters, the naysayers who are saying, nah, that won't work? Or actually, what kind of environment do you need to go into that says, who are the people that will cheer me on? Who are the people that will support me, that will challenge me, that will give me advice, give me support, encourage me to kind of take that step outside of the comfort zone to make some of the changes that I know I deep down want to make? So all of these things are important, but also the environment that you create in your head. What are the things that you are looking to expose yourself to? So again, a good example would be if you turn on the news, then don't expect to be cheered up and motivated by the news. What is it they say? The ratio of good news stories to bad news stories is something like 1-8. And so again, if you're listening too much to the negative, then actually that's what your brain's going to soak up. So what do you choicefully put into your head? What books are you reading? What are you listening to on Audible? What YouTubes or podcasts are you listening to that's starting to help be constructive and really build your mindset? Because that's an environment in your head, as well as the environment I talked about earlier around who's around you, who are you interacting with. That will start to change you as a person.